Tonight, Joe Madden and the Rays welcome back Evan Longoria, hoping Longo can provide a spark to the offense and give James Shields added run support coming off his complete game against the A's. The Rays and the Jays kick off their series on Sun Sports. Tonight, the Rays continue their pursuit of a spot in the postseason and hot pursuit of a wild card spot, if not a division title. And the homestand continues. Game one of the series, the Rays playing host to the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Good to have you looking in tonight as the Rays take on the Blue Jays. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis in just a few moments. Well, the big news here, after missing 85 games, Evan Longoria is back. That partially torn hamstring not completely healed, but after a rehab assignment in Durham, he is in the lineup tonight. And for the Rays, they figured that could make a significant difference.
Well, you're finally getting your marquee player back in the lineup. It has been too long, and absolutely, you got to feel that this is going to be a boost to the offense. You see what he's done in his career, but Evan Longoria, you get him back into the middle of that lineup, not only for his production, and you hope he comes out swinging the bat well, but also for how he's going to be able to benefit the guys around him, move them around in the lineup a little bit, maybe put them into some more advantageous positions. But anyway, just on name alone, Evan Longoria come back into that lineup. The Rays hope that this is finally the spark that gets that offense going.
Well, you can see his numbers and the Rays with him in the lineup. 329. An OPS of 994. That's why the Rays scored 4.6 runs with him in the lineup and 3.86 runs a game without him in the lineup. So Longoria is back. He is in the lineup. We'll hit cleanup tonight, and we'll hear from Evan Longoria when we return.
Rays and the Jays. Tropicana Field on a Tuesday night. Evan Longoria back with the Rays for the first time since the end of April, almost over 3 months away from the lineup. He's obviously excited to be back. Joe Maddon's happy to write his name in the lineup. And here are the thoughts of Evan Longoria and Joe Maddon about the impact he may be able to make.
I'm able to change the complexion of the lineup. Maybe not go out and hit 2 home runs a night, but maybe allow other guys to see some better pitches and allow them an opportunity to get going. I had pretty good at bats down there, and the results weren't very good, but it's different here.
The fans are going to expect a lot. I'm here to tell you, just be happy that he's back. I'm happy that he's back. My expectations are to keep him well, keep him healthy, keep him playing. Hopefully he's going to get a couple RBIs, have good at-bats, and that he's also going to bolster the lineup just by his presence.
So he's in there, batting in the cleanup spot. Evan Longoria returns to the Rays lineup in 3 minutes and 2 seconds until the first pitch. Dwayne Stats and Brian Anderson with all the action. Jay Happ for Toronto. James Shields for the Rays. Enjoy it right here on Sunsport.
Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealer today for great deals on the amazing lineup of Toyota vehicles. Toyota, moving forward. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Checkers, feast on. Tonight's Rays game is presented in high definition, brought to you by H.H. Gregg. Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays squaring off. The Rays dropping 2 out of 3 to the Baltimore Orioles. And tonight, James Shields will go to the hill against this lineup for the Blue Jays. Rajai Davis leads it off, followed by Colby Rasmus. Edwin Encarnacion will hit third. He's at first base. Chanel Escobar, the shortstop, followed by the DH, David Cooper. Jose Sierra is in right field. Kelly Johnson at second base. Hitting eighth and catching will be Jeff Mathis. And at third base, Danny Echeverria. He will bat ninth.
Taking the mound tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays is right-hander James Shields, making his 23rd start of the season and coming off by far and away his best effort of the season. A 3-hit shutout in Oakland against the A's and he did it on just 98 pitches.
All set to play ball, and the first pitch presented by Pinch a Penny comes in a little bit high. 1 ball, no strikes to Rajah Davis. And there's ball 2. Gary Cederstrom is calling the balls and strikes. Davis starts this game with a 10-game hitting streak. Pops it up, short right, and Ben Zobrist is there to make the catch, 1 away.
Let's take a quick look at the Rays defense as it lines up behind James tonight. In the outfield, left to right, Desmond Jennings, B.J. Upton, and Ben Zobrist. Across the infield, third to first, Ryan Roberts, Elliot Johnson, Sean Rodriguez, and Jeff Keppinger. Jose Lobaton will be behind the plate. Tonight's Ray defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
So 1 up and 1 down. Here's Colby Rasmus. Rasmus hitting .248. Pitch is foul back, strike 1. Rasmus been suffering from a groin injury. His RBI total up to 65. And since about the first week in June, he leads the American League in runs batted in. And 40 during that stretch. Count is a ball and 2 strikes. Jays come in here with a couple of wins back to back. They're 2 games under 500. There's John Farrell, their skipper. Rasmus out in front on the changeup, and then strikeout number 1.
Boy, that's the sequence from James Shields that you love to see. Get ahead of a guy quick, and then here it comes, changeup. It's that good of a pitch. He throws this one in a 1-2 count right down Broadway, but the arm action is so good on it. You see how quick Rasmus' swing was.
See, 98 pitches for that 3-hit shutout and 11 strikeouts in the last outing for Shields.
That's what makes it so impressive. 98 pitches in a complete game already, but to do it with 11 strikeouts, wow.
Retired the first 2 men here. The Rays have had their issues with injuries, so have the Blue Jays. 2 balls and a strike. Down to third. That's deep behind the bag, fair. Roberts' throw to the foul side of first. Keppinger on the receiving end. 1, 2, 3. Go the Blue Jays. No score. Tonight's game is available in Spanish via SAP. Brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florence. Rays lineup has Desmond Jennings leading off. Will be in left field, followed by B.J. Upton and then Ben Zobrist and Evan Longoria. And there's the DH, Evan, the cleanup man. Jeff Keppinger hits fifth in front of Ryan Roberts. Sean Rodriguez hits second. The number 8 hitter, Jose Lobaton. Elliott Johnson will get the start at shortstop, and he will bat ninth.
Well, taking the mound tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays is left-hander Jay Happ. He was acquired in a 10-player trade from the Houston Astros. You see what he has done with Houston. His last start was with that ball club back on the 16th of July.
Jennings fouls the first pitch delivered by Happ. It's out of play. Grabbed by a fan to the right of the screen. Strike one.
Since coming over with Toronto, he's appeared in 4 games, all out of the bullpen. Total of 7 innings.
Jennings, Upton, and then Zobrist. Happ went to school at Northwestern. He's out of Spring Valley, Illinois. 29-year-old lefty. There are a number of new faces on this Toronto ball club. They rebuilt their bullpen. Happ is one of the additions, now starting this game. And because of injury, about a third of their starting lineup different than what the Rays saw the last time these two teams squared off. Jennings lifts it into right. Sierra toward right center is there and makes the catch. One away.
Well, let's take a quick look at that Toronto defense as it lines up in the outfield, left to right. Rajai Davis, Colby Rasmus, and Moises Sierra. Across the infield, third to first, Adeiny Echeverria, Yunel Escobar, Kelly Johnson, and Edwin Encarnacion. Jeff Mathis will get the call behind the plate. Tonight's Blue Jay defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarkets, home of the new Sweet Spot Burgers.
B.J. Upton. First pitch is fouled deep down the right side and well back into the stands. B.J. hitting .242. Did better against righties than lefties. .216 against left-handed pitching. He comes out swinging here against Happ and fouls this one away.
You know, and that really, you look through this whole Rays lineup, they have struggled against left-handed pitching.
You're absolutely right. If you get down now in the middle of the lineup, Zobrist, Longoria, and Keppinger, a little different story, but everybody else seems to have struggled against lefties.
You'd think with the guys that the Rays run out there, they would feast on left-handed pitching. There you see the breakout with BJ.
Team hitting .225 against left-handed pitching, just .230 overall, and the Rays are 14-20 in games started by lefties. That's going to be strike 3 call, a fastball in the upper reaches right there.
Now that's a tough pitch to take too if you're BJ. Obviously you're looking for something else there. You're looking for the put-away pitch. Happ likes the curveball with 2 strikes, and right there, when you take that center-cut fastball, then you were absolutely probably looking for that curveball.
BJ talking with himself as he leaves the plate area. Here's Ben Zobrist. Ben takes a strike on the outer part of the plate. Staying away from Zobrist. Two balls and a strike. Well, the Rays have scored 3 or fewer runs in 11 of their last 14 games here at the Trop. Liner headed toward the corner, going to be fouled, hooking out of play. Zobrist's back in the lineup. He left early in the game on Sunday with upper back spasms. The day off helped, and he's back in there tonight. And he's called out on strikes. So we're through an inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. No score here at the Trop.
Top of the second inning here at Tropicana Field. Scoreless. Tampa Bay Times is adding hundreds of new subscribers each week. Join them with a subscription to Tampa Bay's favorite newspaper. Call 877-THE-TIMES or visit tampabay.com/Rays offer. Come with us around the corner, around the globe.
Yunel Escobar leads off the second inning. Fouling the pitch right back into the screen. David Cooper, their DH, will be next, and then we'll see Moises Sierra. Cooper and Sierra, a couple of the new faces in the lineup. Escobar batting .256. That's a strike from Shields. Fastball around the knees, and it's 1-2. Shields' breakout in pitch selection against Oakland. Heavy in the fastball department, which was a departure from what we've seen almost all of this season. We saw a lot more of it last year.
And interestingly enough, what about the success that he had last year? And what again did he do his last start?
Just a 3-hit shutout.
Oh. How many strikeouts?
In 11, and how many pitches?
98, I believe.
I think that's right. 2-2, little popper, short right, up the line, and Keppinger out from first base in fair territory. Makes a nice little grab. Ball nestled into the mitt.
Well, this was James in his last start against the Oakland A's. You know, he came out 11 straight fastballs to start that ball game with a 3-up, 3-down first inning, and then just took it from there. Really worked over that A's lineup, being aggressive, setting the tone. 82 of the 98 pitches were fastball changeup, and he had his best start of the year.
Well, there's David Cooper, DH.
I thought the other thing that was interesting about what James said in regard to that start was he felt like he had a very good line towards home plate, and that's what allowed him to command that fastball.
Well, he talked about being north and south, top to bottom, as opposed to a little horizontal side to side. if you will.
I will.
And he noticed the difference there.
Well, and it stands to reason, because when you get going side to side, things flatten out.
A liner caught by Rodriguez.
Pitches aren't nearly as sharp. The changeup has more fade than good true sinking action, and you're just not able to command your pitches. It doesn't feel like you're driving them to a spot as much as they may be getting there, but you're kind of coming off the side, and that, he gets a little bit too rotational. We've seen that in the past too, but
a little harder for hitters to square it up at the bottom like that. Jose Sierra, 6 of 13 out of the Dominican Republic, just 23 years old. And that ball hit to third for Ryan Roberts, and he heaves it across the diamond. Got it there in time, and Sierra is out of there. 1, 2, 3. We go to the home half of inning 2. Evan Longoria will lead off when we return. Back on the end of Evans' walk-up song and the reception he received as he steps in here as the DH and takes the pitch for a ball. Evan Longoria back in a Rays uniform and back in the middle of that lineup. He is the DH. And a ground ball. Look at the pickup by Happ. And Evans going to be out pitcher first on that reach down by Happ to make the play. So Evan made good contact there on the ball right back toward the middle.
Yeah, he did. Tried to take it right back up the middle, and he hit that ball very hard, but Happ with a quick glove hand. That ball was smoked pretty good. You see him pull up right there, trying to conserve. Well, having him back in the middle of that lineup, boy, that's a huge boost for this team. He's excited about it. The team's excited about it.
On a couple of fronts, the pitch to Keppinger to strike on a couple of fronts there. Number one, for the production that he has the ability to give this lineup, and the others, the psychological boost to all the other guys in the lineup.
Well, there's something about seeing that name in the middle of that lineup, even that song. That kind of, you're down here making notes, and it's like, it's been a long time since we've heard that song. We heard the ovation that he got. But, the other thing that he does is you stick him in the middle of that lineup and you start to move some other pieces around. Hitters go into different spots. Just on name recognition alone, people are going to pitch him a little bit more cautiously than they would another guy. Maybe that benefits the guys around him. They see better pitches.
Well, Longoria the first out. Keppinger at the plate. Keppinger hitting behind Longoria. Ryan Roberts will be next. Keppinger hitting .423 against lefties. It's a popper foul back to first. Carrying out a play. The Rays and the Blue Jays here again tomorrow night. And on Thursday afternoon, and then the Rays leave for a lengthy road trip. Infield pop, right side, and Encarnacion makes the catch with that big first baseman Smith.
Well, in tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
Ryan Roberts. Roberts starts the night 3 for 32. He had 250 over in the National League with Arizona. 6 home runs and 34 runs batted in. And Happ just threw a fastball by him right there at 91. 2 strikes the count.
Robert's swing, we've talked about how big it is. Way too big. That last one that he took, everything leaked out down the third base line. You want to stay on that baseball, head on it, hands through it. Everything came unglued.
It's a 2-2 count.
And those are 2 good idea pitches there by Happ. After seeing Roberts and the way he spun off that fastball to get to 2 strikes, then you might as well stay away.
And he's out there again with a fastball. Full count. Back at first, Encarnacion and Johnson angling. That's going to be a fair ball. Picked up by Sierra. Throw to second. Not going to be in time. And Roberts drops a double inside the right field line.
Now just perfect placement by Roberts. His ball away. Just swings down on it. Just hits a little pop-up. But there is nobody out there to get it. 3 Blue Jays converging. Stays fair. Roberts in scoring position.
Well, Sean Rodriguez has a chance to give the Rays the early lead. And a looper into right. There's a base hit. They're going to wave Roberts home. Sierra's throw headed towards second base, and the Rays take a 1-0 lead. The ball picked up in shallow right, and Roberts headed to the plate from the get-go. Tom Foley waving him home, and the Rays lead 1-0.
Well, with the way that the Rays have been struggling to score runs, if you're going to not score this inning, then you have it on a play where the runner gets thrown out at the plate. Got to be aggressive here, and Sean didn't hit that ball particularly hard. He just drops it out there to Hopper. Absolutely no play for Sierra there, and the Rays take the early lead.
29th run batted in for Sean Rodriguez this year. The Rays had a difficult time scoring runs in that Baltimore series, and that snaps a scoreless streak. Lobatone fouls this one out of play. The Rays had a grand total of 163 in that 3-game series against the Orioles. They scored 2 runs. They were shut out Saturday 4-0 and shut out Sunday in 10 innings 1-0. And technically speaking, they've gone 23 2/3 innings between runs. A strike the count to Lobaton. Down to third and past the third baseman up the line. Rodriguez goes to third. Foley will stop him. Into second. Lobaton comes up with a double.
Now Lobaton hit that ball hard right up the third base line. Echeverria made a nice dive for it, but off the glove and down the left field corner. Right here, just off the heel of the glove. Now, if you could have seen Sean Rodriguez coming around second, watch him right here catch his footwork. Right there, just a little bit at second base. Probably didn't make that big of a difference.
So with 2 outs, the Rays have 1 run home and a chance for a couple more. Elliott Johnson is the hitter. Stays away with the first pitch. 1 ball, no strikes.
Big at bat here for the Rays after 2 up, 2 down to start this bottom of the second. They've already scored a run, and now second and third. Chance to maybe play another couple. Elliott can come through.
One and one. Couple of 2 base hits, a single in between, a run home. 2-1 the count to Elliott Johnson. Elliott hitting from his weaker side, 162 from the right side. He swung a good bat, a consistent bat, left-handed this year. Getting the start here against the lefty Happ. Strikes him out swinging. Rays get a run on 3 hits. They leave 2. We're at the end of 2. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay.
That was all started by that man right there. A 2-out double by Ryan Roberts. The Rays were able to plate their first run of this ball game, and they lead 1-0 as we enter the third inning. We'll start your weekend off right or left. On Friday, August the 24th, the Rays host the A's, and the first 10,000 fans get a David Price t-shirt presented by the Tampa Bay Times as part of Friday Fest, which is presented by Captain Morgan. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com.
Kelly Johnson, the second baseman, leads off for Toronto. The pitch is down. 1-0. Rays with that run in the bottom of the second. One way you calculate the scoreless inning streaks would give the Rays 22 innings without a run. But if you included the outs of the partial innings, it would be 23 2/3, technically speaking. 22 scoreless innings in between. Liner to right, caught by Zobrist. Johnson is the first out.
Number 6, Jeff Mathis.
Now Jeff Mathis, the catcher. J.P.R. Encibia is on the disabled list with a fractured right hand. Mathis has done the bulk of the catching. Foul ball gives Shields the advantage in the count. Mathis out of Marianna, Florida. Eventually got to the big leagues with the Angels. Shields out in front. 0-2 in the count. Mathis out in front on the changeup. Shields retiring the first 7 to face him. He was 3-0 against the Blue Jays last year. And 9-5 against him for his career with that .354 earned run average. His last 6 decisions against the Blue Jays, netting him 5 wins. He is 5-1 over that stretch. But 9-5 lifetime. Mathis just a little piece of that one. Shields is working quickly again tonight as well. That's another good sign.
Very good sign. It shows confidence in what he's doing and how he feels. And again, it goes back to setting that tempo. You realize as a starting pitcher, nothing starts until you decide.
A pop foul. Lobaton and Roberts after it, and Lobaton gets over there and makes the catch halfway between the on-deck circle and the Toronto dugout.
Third baseman, number 3, Damian Echeverria.
Watch Lobaton as he gets out of his crouch and as he heads over to where the on-deck circle is. You've got to tiptoe around that oversized donut there. You had to sneak by and then make the catch.
Echeverria. Pitch is a strike. Danny Echeverria out of Cuba. He's really a shortstop, but in the absence of Laurie, he's playing third base. Escobar is the everyday shortstop for the Blue Jays. Count is 1-1. Echeverria 0 for 6 so far for the Blue Jays.
You know, at the end of the day, that might not be a bad thing. Get an opportunity to play another position, learn the nuances of that position, probably get an appreciation for how quickly that ball gets down to you. Just adds to the experiences. He's a young player.
And a base hit up the middle. Stroked right back through into center field. And Echeverria is aboard with his very first hit.
That was a sweet swing that by Echeverria, taking this ball right back up the middle. Should stay right down and through that. Nice full extension. Well, that's pretty.
He's hitting over 300 in Las Vegas in the Pacific Coast League, and now has his first big league hit. He was a star on Cuba's junior national team when he left in 2009. Now he has a hit in the big leagues. John Davis in the batter's box. Shields with a move over there. Shields giving up his first big league hit and then trying to pick him off.
Well, you figure a young player has never seen James Shields' very good pickoff move. So if he has any designs in running here with 2 outs, this would be a good opportunity to try and do that.
With a strike to Davis.
You start to creep out there on that lead a little bit. James catches you napping, he'll pick you right off in a heartbeat.
He does have some speed. He was 8 out of 10 at AAA. The time he spent last year primarily at the AA level, he was caught almost as many times as he was successful. 0-2 the count to Davis.
I think that's one of the things that you realize. It's just not about speed. It's technique, jumps. There's a lot that goes into it. You know, when you watch the good base stealers, Tony Womack, I got a chance to play with him in Arizona, and being a pitcher, you get out there. I pinch ran quite a bit, and teaching you about leads and to get that hip open just a little bit so you can kind of clear it and get started in a hurry. There's a lot of technique that goes into it.
Back in. Had 18 steals at AA and was caught 14 times a year ago, and has shown improvement at AAA this year. And now on board with his first big league hit. One and two the count.
We've often talked about stealing bases becomes a mathematical problem. How long does it take you to get down to second base, the pitcher's time to home plate, the catcher's delivery to second base? And if you're costing yourself a 1/10 of a second or 2/10 of a second on the front end because of poor technique, that's going to show up in the back end as an out.
2 balls, 2 strikes the count to Davis. Yeah, so you factor in how long it takes the pitcher to unload his pitch, how long it takes that catcher on average to make a throw to second, and see if you've got enough technique and steal to be successful. Ground ball. Johnson with the toss to Rodriguez at second. We go to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. taking a 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the third, facing the left-hander Jay Happ. And for our Toyota Trend, here's the breakout for the Rays against lefty starters this year. You see they're averaging 3.74 runs per game. 5 runs is a good comfort zone. You can survive somewhere in the 4s. Tough to do it in the 3s. Desmond Jennings takes a strike. Desmond lifted a fly ball to right his first time. He's behind in the count. Rays put 3 hits together in the second inning, scored a run, and had 2 more men in scoring position. 1-2. Rays had played 108 games coming into this one. And in 40 of those 108 games, they had accumulated 6 or fewer hits in that particular game. The looper into center, and there's going to be hit number 4 already for the Rays tonight. Leadoff base hit for Desmond Jennings.
Desmond, this ball coming in on him, he's able to get the bat out there, just kind of fight that pitch off. Got right off the label, but he was strong enough to get it outside of the reach at Johnson. Nice start for the Rays. Get some speed, and the leadoff man aboard. Start the third.
B.J. Upton in the batter's box. B.J. toward the right field corner. Sierra's going to have to run in there after it. A one-hopper over the wall for a ground rule double. Jennings stops at third on Upton's 2-base hit. B.J.'s 17th double of the year.
Yeah, great start now for the Rays. This ball down and away, and you see B.J. go down there. The fact that he was able to even get the barrel to it. Flipped that ball right down the right field line, close enough that it bounds up over the wall. Desmond Jennings had a great read on that ball to right field, and probably would have come around to score if it was able to clip the top of the wall, but it didn't. Still sets up the Rays' middle part of the lineup. You got Zobrist, Longoria, Keppinger coming up with runners on second and third. Got to get it done here.
Here's Ben Zobrist. Been caught looking his first time. Seattle has a 5-1 lead on Baltimore, in Baltimore, bottom of the second. And Wieters hit a solo homer for the Orioles run, his 14th home run. He puts Zobrist ahead in the count, 2-0. Pitches. That loads the bases with nobody out for Evan Longoria. So how about that? No sooner is Longoria back than he's up here in a bases loaded situation. Evan had to take the ball back through the middle. Grounded back to Happ on a sharply hit ball in the second inning. takes a pitch away. Rays with a run already in the second inning and a chance for a big inning now in the third. Cut and miss.
Can't blame Evan for this. 1-0 count, bases juice. This ball just up and away, a little bit too far out of the zone.
And he takes ball 2. Yeah, here's a situation where bases are loaded. You're thinking about clearing the bases, but just make good solid contact, hit the ball somewhere.
That's it. I mean, the same approach you did in the first at bat. They hit that ball hard right back up the middle. Hat made a nice play on it. But you know, I mean, right now, especially again, 2-1 count. Evan, if he gets something out over the plate, he's going to look to make very solid contact.
He has 2 career grand slams, one against Toronto when Roy Halladay pitched for the Blue Jays. And he hits a fly ball deep into right center field. Sierra goes back to the wall and he makes the catch. Tag at third by Jennings. He will score on a long sacrifice fly to right center field.
How about the arm by Sierra to get the ball back in? Like it was shot out of a cannon.
He's got a great arm.
Yes, he does. My goodness. Longoria making a bid here the other way. Ball catches a little bit too much plate. Evan puts a nice swing on it, gets some pretty good carry. He gets down and through this baseball, but Sierra's able to track it down to the track. Now watch his arm. I mean, this is a zip line right into the infield with some hair on it.
Yeah, they say he has, for example, a Mondesi-like arm. Remember Raul Mondesi?
Oh, yes,
his
I do.
arm. And they compare it to him. Well, a run batted in for Evan. First and third now. It's 2-0. Here's Jeff Keppinger. 1 ball, no strikes. Keppinger popped out his first time. One and one. The right side out of play. It's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Keppinger faced Happ over in the National League. 3 out of 8 off him coming into this game. Trying to get at least another run home here in the third inning. Going back on the track. He makes the catch. Upton tags and scores on the fly ball. And the Rays lead 3-0. Keppinger picking up his 22nd run batted in. So a couple of sacrifice flies by Longoria and Keppinger. And the Rays have 2 more runs.
Now just keep adding on. Keppinger there. He was down in the count, 2 strikes, and a ball that he could handle, hit it deep to left field.
So 2 runs in the third. The Rays scored their initial run in the second. It was scored by Ryan Roberts, who's in the batter's box right now. Strike one. It's low. 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Roberts doubled up the right field line with 2 outs, and that led to the second inning run. Happ making his first start with the Blue Jays, his first since he started for Houston against the Padres in San Diego on July 16th. Three and one. Popper on the right side. Johnson out, Sierra in, and now he's going to have to adjust to make the catch. He almost overran that one coming in. Rays are finished in the second. They pick up 2 and they lead 3-0. Time for the AT&T trivia question of the night. James Shields picking up his first complete game in his last start. That was on the road in Oakland. Which pitcher has the most complete games since the start of last season? Colby Rasmus will begin the fourth. And Edwin Encarnacion and Yunel Escobar. Which is too low, 1-0. Shields with a strikeout, no walks. He's given up a hit. Rasmus fouls it right back, 1-1. Blue Jays 2 under 500 overall, and they're 4 under inside the American League East. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Little breaking ball there. Curveball.
Yes, it was. And a good one.
He got ahead of Rasmus in the first. Struck him out on a changeup. And this one, too, is down and in. He doubled up.
Well, you're now moving through the lineup for the second time, giving them just a little bit different look. A lot of fastballs and changeups again, first time through. A couple of cutters. Now a couple of curveballs.
And he just missed there. Full count.
You know, and this is one of those teams you expect a little bit more of a mix from James because he sees them so often. Maybe not some of the hitters, but as far as the team goes.
High shot back into deep right. Zobrist back in front of the wall, and that one will go. Number 20 for Colby Rasmus. It comes on a 3-2 pitch. And the Toronto center fielder hits it out to right center.
Now, and I believe that was on a changeup. That changeup just stayed out and over the plate. Very similar to the one that he struck out on. It was very similar to the one that he struck out on in his first at-bat. Was a changeup he was way out in front on. Does a much better job of staying back on that pitch. This one, he makes it a souvenir.
18th home run of the year allowed by Shields. Encarnacion pops it foul straight back, and that's out of play. Encarnacion went out third to first his first time around.
Let's take a quick look at the scouting report brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. Career year for Encarnacion. Already has most home runs he's ever hit in a season.
He has 29 right now to lead this Toronto Blue Jay ball club.
Yep. Only 2 off of his career high in RBIs, and obviously because of those numbers, the Toronto Blue Jays will be hoping that he can pick up the slack with Jose Bautista being out of this lineup.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Can still be a dangerous lineup, but you do breathe a sigh of relief. Bautista's not in there. Encarnacion is out on strikes. The appeal down to Lance Barkdale.
Now this was a front door cutter, and let's see, Encarnacion goes down for it way too far. He knows it.
Bautista's on the shelf with a bad wrist. They're not sure when he's going to be back, from what we hear.
And well, think about it too. A wrist with that type of a hitter, the bat speed that he's able to generate, that thing has got to be, you know, that's not an injury that I don't think you could come back with unless it's 100% because of the bat speed that he generates.
Yep.
Any check swing that he would take, how hard he gets after it.
Ground ball to short. Johnson up with it. Escobar is out. Johnson to Keppinger to get Escobar.
Well, let's take a look at tonight's Auto-Way text poll question. Which Big Bat's disabled list stint has affected his team's offense the most this season? TB1, Evan Longoria with the Rays, or TB2, Jose Bautista with the Blue Jays? Text your vote to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply.
There they are, side by side. Well, you remove those bats from the respective lineups, you're going to know they're gone. The Rays know that only too well firsthand. 1-0 the count here to Cooper. David Cooper, the designated hitter. Lifts the fly ball toward left center, and Upton is there to catch it. A run on the home run, and then 1-2-3. Rays lead 3-1. 3-1, Rays lead Toronto. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. With James Shields picking up his first complete game the last time out. Which pitcher has the most complete games since the start of last year? And the answer is, topping that list, James Shields, followed by Justin Verlander with 10. The only two in double figures. Shields with 11 last year and one complete game this year. Sean Rodriguez takes a strike. Bottom of the fourth underway. Third base, Echeverria throws a strike to first, and Sean Rodriguez is out number one. Here's Jose Lobaton. Pitch is a strike. Lobaton picking up his 8th double of the year, his first time. Two. One ball, two strikes. Two and two. Toward left center, cutting across Davis. A little bit back on the angle. 2 up, 2 down. Rodriguez is grounded out. Lobaton out on the fly ball to left center. It's going to bring up Elliott Johnson.
Well, rock out with OAR as they hit the main stage after the Rays host Oakland A's Friday, August 24th, and perform their headlining hits, including Shattered, Heaven, and That Was a Crazy Game of Poker. For tickets, visit RaysBaseball.com.
One strike, the count to Johnson. Rays got a run in the second. They got 2 more in the third. Makes it a 1-2 count. Up a little over 70 pitches now. And he strikes out Elliott Johnson for the second time using a fastball. On to the 5th. The Rays lead 3-1.
you know, I was had a really good angle on my fastball, which I was very pleased with, you know, and which creates a little more movement north to south. So, you know, hopefully I can go and repeat that, and you know, have a good last couple of months here.
For the game, Brian Anderson talking about the percentage of fastball and changeups for James Shields. Here you see tonight, 28 out of his 53 pitches have been fastballs. He's also mixed in 11 changeups, 11 cutters, only 2 curves so far. So almost 75%, guys, fastball, changeup. Back to you.
Thanks, Todd. Sierra leading off. The first pitch is a curveball. Stayed up a bit, 1-0. Jose Sierra. Got him on a ground ball to third in the second inning.
Well, that's about the percentage you'd like to see from James. He's able to, you know, that's the other thing. Not like you're going to go out there and every pitch is going to be a fastball, but when you do use it more often and you like the way that your line is, stands to reason that's going to be a pitch that's sharp for you. Get it to the corners, good command of it.
Sierra out front, missed the change, and it's 1-2. And still to this point, it's about double what he had thrown earlier in the year.
No question.
In percentages of his pitches. Sierra's foot.
When you do the complete breakout of his pitches, there was a time, and it may still be there, but total pitches against lefties and righties, the changeup was the most. You know, the fastball down around that 27, 28%. So if he can keep that up over 50, a lot more aggressive. And it will make those secondary pitches even better. It's not like he's a cunny thumper. You know, he's not out there throwing no velocity. He can get it up there.
We've seen him at 93.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now out of play. Still 2-2. Shields will go all the way out, 3-2. Shields hasn't walked anybody tonight, and a full count. And another foul ball, and Sierra fouled it off himself again. This is being a tough at bat for the young outfielder.
You get that ball moving down and in, and you see this one hammers off his foot. You know, that's the other thing that James was talking about. The finish on his pitches, a little bit more movement, a little bit late. You see as that ball starts to jet down and in, if you're going to get the barrel to it, you're going to find that front ankle at times.
Jose Sierra, the 23-year-old outfielder from the Dominican Republic.
Well, he's going to get some assistance here from Omar Vizquel, who's bringing out some padding for him.
And here you forgot this.
It's a shin guard.
Says no, he doesn't need it. Too late now.
You're right.
Three-two again. Pops it into shallow center. Upton is right there. BJ makes the grab. So an extended at bat. 9 pitches. He's out on the fly ball at shallow center. It's Kelly Johnson who lined to right his first time. Fastball down. Two balls, no strikes. Shields earns another 3-ball count, 3-1 to Johnson. Taking a big cut, fouls it to take the count all the way out. Jennings made the catch. 2 gone. Nobody aboard in the 5th. You can celebrate that special occasion by purchasing a game-used lineup card, a base, baseball, or autographed items from your favorite Rays players. Their one-of-a-kind items can be purchased at raysbaseball.com/gameday or at the Rays Authentics game-used merchandise stand here at Tropicana Field. Jeff Mathis pitches down, a ball, no strikes. One and one. Two balls and a strike. Shields had 11 strikeouts, no walks in the complete game 3-hit shutout against Oakland. So popped short right. Sean Rodriguez angling from second base makes the catch. Bottom half of inning 5 coming, 3-1 Tampa Bay. time for the Just for Men Auto Stop Foolproof Stat. Evan Longoria back in the Rays lineup tonight. See what he's meant to the Rays for the length of his young career. With him in the lineup, the Rays over that period scoring 4.7 runs a game. Just as the Rays count on Evan Longoria, you can count on Just for Men Auto Stop for foolproof results. Jennings on the first pitch, lines it into the left field corner, and Desmond, jumping on an opening fastball, has his second hit of the game.
Well, be ready to hit. Desmond Jennings was. He got a fastball out over the plate from Happ. Why let this go by? Missed its spot right down the middle. Just hammers that ball down into the corner. Another quick start here for the Rays in the fifth.
The Rays have had men on and in scoring position in 3 of the first 5 innings. Here's BJ. Takes the pitch away. 1-0. Fastball, and the count is 1-1. BJ's double, leading to a run scored in the third, was his 17th of the year. Rays lead by 2. The foul back. 2 strikes.
Now BJ not real happy. He got a hanger right there out over the plate. This pitch just stayed up and out over. Yeah, and BJ's reaction says it all.
To the dirt. It's 2-2. It's Brandon Lyon throwing in the bullpen for Toronto. Fastball takes the count to 3-2. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
It certainly did. I mean, the only thing you could have called was this ball down. Certainly caught the plate.
And up and out on strikes.
Well, he followed that fastball up with a very good changeup. Kept that one down right out over the plate. You see the grip. The swing of BJ right over the top of that sinking changeup.
Now Ben Zobrist with a chance to drive in the run. Rays in the wild card started the day 2.5 back of Detroit and 2 back of Los Angeles.
Welcome back, Evan.
And a base hit into right. Jennings around third on his way to the plate. Zobrist heads for 2. It's a double and the Rays lead 4-1. Ben Zobrist, a nice job of taking that one up the right field line.
Yes, it was, and he gets it by Encarnacion down there at first base to drive in Desmond Jennings. Here it is. Look at that ball away. Doesn't try to pull it, just goes right with it. It's the only thing you can do.
Well, the Rays have again a 3-run lead. John Farrell out of the dugout. We have a call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Metro PCS. Runner on as he leaves. And Lyon is the new pitcher. He started his career with Toronto and now back.
And that's what he's done with them for the 7th time. See 15 strikeouts and 7 1/3.
And Evan Longoria is in the batter's box. Johnson breaking to the bag at second. A step off by Lyon. Pitch is wide. 1-0. Lyon will be 33 in a few days. Came up originally in 2001 with the Blue Jays. Spent a short time with Boston, then Arizona, Detroit. A couple of years with Houston. Back in Toronto. 2-0. He misses with a curveball. Longoria fouls it. Evan drove in a run with a fly ball in the 3rd inning. Officially 0 for 1. Longoria, first time back. The Rays had gone 41 and 44 without him. He missed 85 games with the partial tear of his left hamstring. Two-1. It's going to even the count. Breaking ball, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, nothing straight here from Lyon. He's got first base open. Ben Zobrist out at second. Obviously, a lot of respect for Evan Longoria.
The breaking ball is outside. 3-2. Rays with a run in the 2nd. They scored twice in the 3rd. Another run in the 5th. strike. Snapjo back to second, and Zobrist back in. Stayed with the breaking ball.
He did stay with the breaking ball, and then that snap throw down to second base by Mathis right out in front of the face of Longoria as he came across the plate. No reason to think that he wouldn't do that. And then watch this. Jeez.
We've got a very close look at that throw.
Yes, he did. I mean, you see him. He's stumbling across there, or spinning across there. That ball right by the bill of the helmet.
He changed his focus in an instant. Well, there's Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger trying to pick up the run batted in. One ball, no strikes. Well, at last look, the Yankees and the Tigers in Detroit tied, bottom of the fifth, 2-2. Tigers atop the wild card race in the American League. One and one. Ground ball headed to the shortstop. Escobar picks it up and throws. One run, two hits. The Rays leave one. Through five, it's 4-1 Tampa Bay. Southern Ford dealers and by Subway restaurants. Play hard, eat fresh. Through five, the Rays lead 4-1. They have out-hit the Blue Jays 7-2. First game of a three-game series. Tomorrow night's game, Alex Cobb will oppose Carlos Villanueva. Matt Moore pitches Thursday afternoon against Henderson Alvarez. Echeverria will open the sixth. And a base hit in the third. His first in the big leagues. Fastball, and that's strike one.
Well, that was a big run there by the Rays in the bottom of the fifth. James Shields had that mistake to that 3-0 lead, and Toronto cuts into it with one in the fourth. You get it right back in the bottom of the fifth. That three-run cushion, that's
1-1.
Much appreciated if you're James Shields. Gets you back out to a little bit of a comfort zone there, 3 as opposed to 2.
I'm not sure how you quantify it, but there is a psychological effect to that as well.
There really is. Yeah, that's exactly. It's hard to explain, but there's something about getting that run back relatively quickly. Well, now you're getting into that time frame where Shields has his pitch count under control. 6th inning, if he can continue to be aggressive in the zone, get out of this inning, getting towards that back end when the bullpen maybe comes into play. A lot of reasons to feel good.
1-2 the count. So far, not a big strikeout night by Shields. A couple of strikeouts. He has not walked anybody. And he's 2-2 with Echeverria. Missed a little bit off the plate. Fastball out there. And strike 3 call. Echeverria started to take a step toward first and then stop. And Cedarstrom rings him up.
Now that pitch a little bit closer than the previous, and you see it bore right down that outside corner. Cedarstrom said, well, I'm going to pop it there twice. That is close enough.
Rajon Davis. Which is too high. Davis 0 for 2 tonight, working on his 10-game hitting streak. Chops it to the left side, and that's Elliott Johnson making a good throw. So Davis is out, short to first.
They'll experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Hancock Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Hancock Bank Club features an upscale menu and inclusive drink options. For tickets and more information, call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com.
Colby Rasmus left the Blue Jays game on Friday and back in the lineup tonight. He's hit a home run. He takes a strike. Rasmus, a groin issue that kept him out the last couple days. Struck out his first time and then homered into right center field the last time up. It's 1-1. Popped up, carried foul out of play, and advanced the count to 1-2. Stairs 2-2.
First at bat, struck Rasmus out on a changeup. Second at bat, that changeup got hit into the seats. Back to that count 2-2. Stay aggressive with him with the heater.
And he does. Misses high. 3-2. Strikeout and a ground out, then the walk, and the first given up by Shields.
Well, he stayed aggressive with that heater and just was really trying to close him out with a very hard fastball. Tried to couple in and left him up, and then tried to really nail the outside corner there and just pulled off it a touch. Trying to make the perfect pitch.
Shields didn't walk anybody in that shutout out in Oakland. Encarnacion leans away, but the pitch is in there for a strike. Cut by Encarnacion. 0-2.
Well, his eyes lit up. That was a cutter that stayed up and out over the plate. And Encarnacion cut it loose.
And it's down. Shields had gone 17 innings without giving up a walk. Coming off the 3-hit shutout in Oakland. He had 3 innings in the outing prior to that. And then 5 2/3 in this one without a walk. 1-2 pitch. He threw him the curveball there, and it appeared to be pretty good.
Now this one starts in off the plate. See Lobaton go and get it very, very close.
And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little foul out of play. Toronto got a run in the 4th on the Rasmus home run. The Rays got a run in the 2nd, 2 runs in the 3rd, and 1 run in the 5th. We're in the top half of inning 6. And the count is full.
Well, he's been able to work this count all the way back to full, taking a couple of change-ups, fouling off a cutter, curveball. He's seen them all.
And a high fly ball into left. A lot of room out there for Desmond Jennings, who makes the catch to retire the side. Walk and a man left, no runs. Home half of inning 6 coming, and the Rays lead 4-1. open the scoring in the second with Sean Rodriguez single home. Ryan Roberts and Evan Longoria gave the Rays another run in the third with a sacrifice fly. Kepinger's fly ball to left scored the second run of that inning and made it 3-0. Colby Rasmussen a leadoff homer in the fourth, putting the Blue Jays on the board, and the Rays back with a run when Ben Zobrist lines a double up the right field line, scoring Desmond Jennings. So as we go to the bottom of the sixth, the Rays have a 4-1 lead. Chad Jenkins will make his major league debut. He becomes the 31st pitcher of the year used by the Blue Jays this season.
Incredible.
First pitch to Ryan Roberts is a strike.
I mean, you figure most staffs start off with 12. There's certainly going to be some ups and downs, but 31.
Comes in, throws a couple strikes.
You know, you have to make trades. You have to make trades because you have 31 guys in your organization that are capable of pitching in the big leagues. You need to go find some others.
It's outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jenkins had been pitching for the New Hampshire Fisher Cats.
Well, if you just go organizationally, that's everybody in the big leagues, everybody that you have at AAA, and half your AA staff have pitched in the big leagues so far.
That? It's a pretty amazing total for sure. And he strikes out Roberts. First man he faces in the big leagues. 7th strikeout for Toronto pitching tonight.
Well, he finished him off there with a good sinking fastball. See, this thing gets underneath the swing of Roberts, trying to go away. But even with that ball missing in, it had enough action to get the desired result.
Sean Rodriguez. Sean pops it up. It's a foul ball. Will it be playable? Encarnacion racing over, but it's on top of the Rays dugout. 1 strike. Two. One out, base is empty. Two. They've had at least 10 pitchers on the disabled list this year.
Yeah,
how about that?
Well, right. And look at some of the names that are on there, guys. They were counting on this year heavily.
Line drive right back at Jenkins, who got that glove down there to make the catch on that hot shot liner.
Well, welcome to the big leagues. Strike out your first hitter, and then absolutely this ball just runs into the glove. This was smoked by Sean.
So the 24-year-old right-hander, 2 up, 2 down against him for Jose Lobaton. It's a strike. Rays have out hit the Blue Jays 7-2. Lobaton pops it into shallow left. Escobar out and short. He's there in front of Davis making the catch. We go to the 7th inning. The Rays lead 4-1. We've completed 6. We go to the 7th. The Rays hold a 4-1 lead. Tonight, Jeff Keppinger started at first, and now here in the 7th inning, Carlos Pena will take over defensively. Carlos at first. Shields, 6 innings, 1 run. Couple of hits tonight. Janelle Escobar. Pitch inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Foul out of play. 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Escobar punched through that pitch. 2-2. And that just got him. Just grazed him. Escobar hit by a pitch to lead off the 7th.
Well, that was supposed to be a front door cutter from James, and he just, see that ball just kind of stays up. Really no cutting action at all. And I mean, I don't know what that grazed. It grazed something, but it may have been the bottom of the bat. Some good acting there by Escobar. And he gets the call. I don't think that got any part of the body. If anything, the butt end of the bat maybe.
Well, the Blue Jays get a base runner out of it. Escobar pops a little smile.
Pulled one over.
You just can't resist that smile sooner or later.
Yeah, because you know, you pulled the whole Rodney Dangerfield. My arm, I think it's broken.
David Cooper pitches a strike. Got to give him a new hat.
Well, he does come with the suit, so.
Look good on him. 0-1 the count to move to first. Now pick him off. That would be justice. Escobar back in here. Shields on the verge of pitch number 100. And he picks up strike 2 to Cooper. Jake McGee now up in the bullpen. Another move to first, and that was a little closer that time. Lance Barksdale on the call. Shields this year with a couple pickoffs. He had 13 last year.
When you see just how close it was, and Escobar's lead was not very big at all.
A cut and a miss. Cooper out on strikes. That's the first out here in the 7th.
Now you jump ahead of a guy, you put him in swing mode, and again he tries to come with that cutter, doesn't quite get around it. That ball stayed up and away, but Cooper chases for out number 1.
Jose Sierra. There's a strike on the outside edge. Shields after his 10th win of the season tonight. Ground ball shortstop. Johnson, Rodriguez 1, Pena 2, 6-4-3 on the double play. That will take care of Toronto on the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time, 4-1 Rays. Middle of the 7th inning. Fans have taken their Gulf Coast Honda dealers 7th inning stretch with the Rays holding a 4-1 lead. Elliott Johnson will open the home half of the inning. Chad Jenkins delivers. A fastball from Jenkins. 1-0 the count. Ground ball right right side. That's going to get through out of the reach of Johnson. A leadoff base hit for Elliott Johnson, just out of the reach of the second baseman, Kelly Johnson. It's 8 hits for the Rays tonight. Again, the Rays had 40 games where they've had 6 or fewer hits. That's not one of them. 8 hits now. And here's Desmond Jennings. Desmond 2 for 3 on the night. Rays came into this game 6-2 in the season series against Toronto. This is the second series here at the Trop Plate between these two teams. The Rays took the first one, winning 2 out of 3. Jennings showing the bunt. Takes the pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes. Texas leading Boston, top of the 7th at Fenway. That's a 3-0 ball game. Seattle leads Baltimore 7-3, bottom of the 6th in Baltimore. Tigers 4-2 over the Yankees in Detroit, bottom of the 6th. And the pitch, the move over to first, strikes Elliott Johnson, who's back in there safely. Time to first. Elliott back. Rays coming into the game with 93 steals for the year. Elliott has 17 of them. And the bunt right side, that'll be picked up by Jenkins. His throw to first is there in time. Encarnacion got back to take the throw. Up to second base goes Johnson as Jennings bunts him into scoring position.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot more recently. Not only Desmond Jennings, who's been out there at the forefront of the sacrifice bunt, but from the Rays in general. Playing a lot more small ball, trying to at least start to manufacture runs. And here with a 3-run lead in the 7th, leadoff hit. And Desmond Jennings, who's actually been swinging the bat well in this ball game, gets down a bunt.
Well, it gives B.J. Upton a chance to drive in a run. With Zobrist on deck. Swing and a miss. Upton, a big cut at the fastball.
BJ, come on, baby. Count. Send it home.
A big cut and a miss. 0-2. You know, we have seen a lot of bunting by the Rays in that situation. I guess you have to assume that it was on, that Jennings is not bunting on his own.
Well, you would assume that, and the other side of you says you've got a 3-run lead and Desmond's swinging the bat well. Why not let him swing away? He's going to be tough to double up if you are worried about ground ball double play.
Upton sends a fly ball to right. Sierra lines up to make the catch, and holding at second is Elliott Johnson.
You know, so in that situation, if it is being put on, you almost say, that's a situation I wouldn't mind Desmond swinging the bat. Like I said, he's swinging the bat well tonight. But oh well.
Yeah, even starting the runner might not be a bad idea.
Well, yeah. I mean, and there's guys. You know, we saw the printout right there. 17 stolen bases on the graphic with Elliott Johnson. Desmond Jennings able to steal a bag. So there are some guys. But you've got to trust the guy at the plate to be able to put the bat on the ball.
Ben Zobrist takes a strike.
Jeff Keppinger is one of those hitters where his ability to hit the ball where it's pitched, take the ball the other way, put the bat on the ball, perfect guy to hit and run with. Although with him being in the middle of the order now, you want him to swing away and drive the ball. But you know what? Really, going forward from now till the end of the season, it's going to be all about scoring runs, whatever the cost, whatever it takes. Try to support that pitching staff that has been on quite the run.
Well, you know, they've gone since the All-Star break. We were talking about it earlier tonight. A 22-game stretch in which they've had the best pitching staff in baseball. The best. They've gone 11-11. This pitching staff has been so incredible. They've given the Rays a run in which it's not outlandish to at least think about winning 20 of those 22 games. The pitching has been that good.
That's aggressive, but I don't disagree with you at all. Their
Teams
team
win
ERA,
19 out of 20.
They do.
Win, you know, and it takes that kind of pitching, the best in baseball.
2.34.
Yep.
2.34 as a staff in 22 games. That is absurd. I mean, the next closest is at 3.
Yeah.
So you're way more than half a run better in 22 games. That is just a minuscule ERA. It's incredible.
They've held the opposition during that stretch to a 2.01 average, and they lead the majors in strikeouts. This pitching staff has been incredible.
Yeah, all the way through. Starters and everybody in the bullpen. And so, yeah, to take those 22 games and play 500 baseball,
yep.
It's almost criminal.
Mm-hmm. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. What do you think about that if you had anything close to an average offensive production? Where the club would be. Shot foul.
Well, here's the thing. You can imagine how frustrating it is for this team, but they've kept their heads about them. No one has said anything stupid.
That's right.
You know, pitchers have just said, hey, listen, we'll just go out, continue to do our job, and trust that the offense will come around. Nobody's blown anybody up. Nobody's taken any shots.
Yeah. And that's great.
It is.
That's really great for this pitching staff. They've just gone out and continued to pitch well.
That's what a team is all about.
High fly ball down the right side. That's going to be foul and will land out of play. And Zobrist will get another chance to get Elliott Johnson home from second. Yeah, that's one of the redeeming things that you like about this team. You don't see guys popping off about any of that.
Yep.
They just show up and try to win the game that night.
And trust me, you've been around the game long enough. You know that it happens. Mm-hmm. It happens a lot more than it should. It only takes one guy. Rays haven't done it.
The 2-2. Zobrist fouls this one the other way. We're seeing a number of pitches here from Jenkins. Jenkins in his big league debut. This will at least be a 9-pitch at bat for Zobrist. And that is strike 3 call. Boy, right on the corner. Rays leave a man. We go to the 8th. 4-1 Tampa Bay.
featuring pitcher Jeremy Hellickson. Get an in-depth look at Jeremy's childhood and his passion for the game of baseball, a passion that would help him become the 2011 American League Rookie of the Year. It's all on Inside the Rays, Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern on Sun Sports, where Rays fans live.
But James Shields has given up just the one run. That came back in the fourth. He's made 103 pitches through 7, 4 strikeouts. He's given up just 2 hits and a walk. Here's Kelly Johnson to begin the 8th. He fouls the fastball back, strike 1. 2.
Best curveball of the night. How about that? Here in the 8th inning, an 0-1 curveball. That was very tight.
Let's try it again, and a little piece of that one foul.
I mean, barely. James, look at him laughing there. He knows that was a good put-away pitch, and for Johnson to be able to spoil it.
One and 2. Johnson is out on strikes. That's number 5 for Shields.
I'll tell you what, can you feel the confidence that Shields is pitching with in this ball game? The way that he continues to work quickly. He's having fun out on the mound. He's still in attack mode here in the 8th inning. Throwing the ball extremely well, coming off that shutout in Oakland. You know, that was very similar to what we saw earlier this year with David Price, where his confidence went through the roof after the shutout against the Angels here at Tropicana Field.
Want to know the count to Jeff Mathis, the catcher. Two and 0. Well, this pitching staff has a lot to be confident about. The starters and the bullpen. Peralta in the bullpen right now. Two and 1. Ground ball foul outside of third, down in front of Brian Butterfield, their third base coach, down toward the bullpen. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball by him. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 8th.
He just rears back here and lets this fly. Powers it right by Jeff Mathis.
Now Adeiny Echeverria, who has a single and a strikeout. Pitch too high, a ball, no strikes. Two and 0. Ground ball to third, scooped right there by Roberts, and the throw to first. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 8th coming. It's 4-1 Tampa Bay. 4-1 Rays lead. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. Here's what's coming up on Rays Live, presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Community Relations Day tomorrow. Alex Cobb on the mound and VA's breakdown. Rays Live, presented by Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Ball begins at 6:30. That's when the fun starts. Evan Longoria leading off. Evan drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. Aside from the production that Evans' return might get this lineup, he gives. There's a line drive base hit into center field, and Longoria is aboard to start the home half of the 8th. So there's a base hit. Evan will now be lifted for a pinch runner after leading off with a base hit. Sam Fuld will run for him, and Evan gets a good hand here. Back in action. RBI, now a base hit.
Absolutely. It started it off in his first at-bat, hit that ball hard up the middle. Happ made a nice play on it. Ended up driving in a run with a sacrifice fly that was hit very well to right field. And then how about picking up a base hit right there? Nice comeback there by Evan.
I'm going to say not only will he give the Rays whatever production they get from him, but he's another quality at bat in that lineup that opposing pitchers have to deal with. They have to think twice now about the makeup of the lineup. Carlos Pena, who entered the game defensively in the 7th, bats here in the 8th with Fuld at first. Shift is on. Pitch is foul back, strike 1.
Well, for all the latest updates on your Tampa Bay Rays, log on to TampaBay.com. From the Diamond to the Clubhouse, we bring you the in-depth news, stories, and scores 24 hours a day only at TampaBay.com. Powered by the Tampa Bay Times.
Pena facing Chad Jenkins. He made 73 appearances in the minor leagues before making his major league debut tonight, and they were all starts. Pena showing the bunt. It's 1-1. Fuld, the runner at first. First. Jenkins, New Hampshire, had gone 5-9 with a 4.96 in 20 starts. 1-2-3-6, gave up a hit in the 7th, left a man on. Now a base hit to open the bottom of the 8th. Two balls and a strike. Pena hits it deep to left. Davis will go to the track for this one and make the catch. And Fuld, who was just a few steps from the bag at second, returns to first. Pena hit the ball pretty well the other way that time. One gone. So it'll be Ryan Roberts now. Rays have Burke Badenhop and Fernando Rodney busy in the bullpen. Here they are in what is now a 4-1 game. Rays trying to add a run. Roberts 1 out of 3. Bounces it foul outside of third.
Well, if the Rays were to add a run, you would probably have seen the pitcher on the left, Badenhop, come in. It stays at 4-1, obviously a save situation. That would be Rodney.
0-2. Outfield straight away. 2 strikes the count to Roberts. Ground ball to first. Encarnacion. Escobar and back safe at first. Almost a little collision at first base right there. Roberts reaches on a fielder's choice. Jenkins was getting over there to cover, but Encarnacion got back there as well.
Now this pitch away from Roberts, a little check swing action, a borderline pitch. Almost turns into a double play here.
So it's Roberts now the runner. Sean Rodriguez the hitter. Rodriguez pulling off that pitch. Slider breaking money away. Strike one. He's with 4 runs, 9 hits tonight. Toronto with a run, 2 hits. Same thing. 0-2.
A couple of nasty breakers there by Jenkins. Down and away, throws that pitch hard. It's got tight spin.
Middle to center, right to Rasmus, who makes the catch. We're going to head into the 9th inning. The Rays lead 4-1.
TB1, Evan Longoria. TB2, Jose. Text your vote to standard message and data rates apply. We'll have the results for you in our Rays Live postgame show. We will also hear from Joe Madden in his press conference. We'll have some interviews as well in the Rays Live presented by Checkers postgame show. Dwayne and BA with their thoughts. We'll update you on Jeff Neiman as he'll make a start tomorrow in his first step back to the big leagues after the injury against these Blue Jays back in mid-May. All that coming up after the game in Rays Live presented by Checkers, guys.
Well, we've got a lot to cover on that post game. We have the top of the 9th inning upon us now with the Rays leading 4-1, and Fernando Rodney coming on in relief of James Shields.
You can see riding that 21-inning scoreless streak. He's already tied the franchise record, Joe Borowski, in 2005, and he's had a scintillating season so far.
He faces the top of the order. John Davis takes a fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Davis 0 for 3 tonight, came into the game with the 10-game hitting streak. One and one. Two balls and a strike. Rays have led throughout the night, 1-0, 3-0, 3-1, then 4-1. 4-1 in the ninth. And Davis started to go. That's in there. A changeup and a strike to square the count. Rays trying to win their 7th game of the year in 9 outings against Toronto. $116 pitches for Shields. 57 fastballs, 26 cut fastballs, 21 changeups, and 12 curveballs. So that's the breakout for Shields tonight. A 2-2 count to Davis. And he is out on strikes. Davis offered, went around.
Nasty stuff from Rodney. This changeup here, and Davis again, the second check swing, just cannot hold up on this pitch. Rodney does a great job of selling it with effort and arm speed.
Kobe Rasmus has scored the only run of the game for Toronto. That was on his 20th home run of the year in the 4th. A fastball at 98, perfectly located. How about that? A perfectly located 98-mile-per-hour fastball.
What are you going to do with it?
You just take it. It's a strike.
Yeah, that's right. Be glad to get 3 of them.
Ground ball headed to the left side. That's going to go through. Well, that one at 98 found the hole on the left side. With Johnson shaded to his left. Rasmus is aboard for the 3rd time. Let's take a look at the starting matchup tomorrow. There it is, Alex Cobb, our Chevron starting matchup. Carlos Villanueva pitching for the Blue Jays. Left side by Encarnacion. Eight innings for Shields, 2 hits, 1 run, walked 1, struck out 6. There's a strike. 2. Rodney puts the baseball in, and there's a call Here, Joe Madden wants to see what the dust-up is all about here. New baseball in play. And we'll see. I think right there he went to his face.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is.
So Gary Cederstrom, just to make sure the lines of communication are open. So they got rid of the baseball. They got a new one. Everybody's still friendly out there. So the runner at first with one out, Encarnacion with a 2-strike count. The pitch is down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Seattle and Baltimore tied 7-7 now. They're in the bottom of the 7th. J.J. Hardy had a 3-run homer and a 4-run 7th. Baltimore still batting. 1-2 into the dirt. This one skips all the way back over the screen and into the stands.
Yeah, that ball ended up short and I think off a shin guard. Overtone trying to block that pitch in the dirt. See if it skips right off the shin guard. About the only way it's going to get out of here. Right there, right off the knee.
And here comes a souvenir. 2-2, wild pitch sends Rasmus to second. Back at third, grabbed by Roberts. Long throw to first in time. 2 gone now with Rasmus still at second base.
Yeah, you play no doubles. Roberts close to the line, makes a nice backhand stop. Look how close he is. Rocket shot, goes down, gets up, makes a nice throw.
So Fernando Rodney coming in, had gone 21 innings in 20 outings without allowing a run. Now it's Yunel Escobar. The first pitch is a strike. Escobar 0 for 2. Reached when it was ruled that he was hit by a pitch back in the 7th inning. One and one. One ball, 1 strike. Upstairs, a fastball with plenty behind it, 99. Rodney trying to close it out, give the Rays a victory here in the first game of the series. 2-2. Trying to be quick for the hard stuff out in front of the great change. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So often when Fernando Rodney comes in, the way that he mixes his pitches, we can just take any taped inning from a Rodney appearance and just hit play. Say the same thing over and over and over again.
2-2. A little tap to the right side. Pena's got it. Steps on the bag. Rays are winners in the first game of this series. It's a 4-1 final as the Rays defeat the Toronto Blue Jays They even the homestand record now at 2-2 on this stay. James Shields will get the win. Rodney a save. Shields now 10-7. And for Rodney, that consecutive scoreless streak remains intact. 22 innings spread over 21 outings without giving up a run. And he saves this one for Shields. Happ, the losing pitcher. And the Rays win their 57th game of the year. Evan Longoria, welcome back. He got into the act with a sacrifice fly in the third and a base hit in the 8th inning. So the Rays are victorious tonight. The save for Rodney, his 33rd of the season. And the Rays against Toronto now 7-2 in the season series, halfway through that. Right now, let's go to the field. Todd Callis standing by with Evan Longoria.
Dwayne, thanks. Just saying we haven't done this in a while. Good to see you back in the lineup. The Rays were just waiting for you to get your timing back. Did you feel pretty comfortable at the plate?
I fought it a little bit, as I thought would be the case. At least for the first couple. I mean, the intensity at any level really can't be matched by the intensity here. But it was good to get my feet wet again, and we got to win. So.
First AB, come back back to the mound. Second AB, base is full. What are you thinking there? Take us through that AB, get to a 2-1 count.
Just thinking hit a fastball. Again, I was kind of struggling with my hand position and just stuff that you don't want to be thinking about with the bases loaded. But accomplished the goal there. I mean, hit the ball hard. I was able to advance. Get the run home and move BJ over to third. So. Just trying to put together a productive at-bat and drive a guy in, and it ended up working out.
Yeah, hit that ball really well the opposite way. With this team, you've been watching from afar lately. Do you feel like you get to 3 or 4 runs, you're in pretty good shape with the way the stats been?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to get comfortable, but I mean, our starting pitching is always, as long as I've been here, it's been what's kept us in ball games and what's eventually won and got us, into the postseason. And so we'll continue to lean on them, but the more runs we can put up, the easier it makes them.
Was this a little different game for you? Basically, your second opening day.
It was. I was probably as nervous as I've ever been, to play a game. I mean, I had, the good kind of butterflies. I was excited, and so it's weird to kind of experience that, two times in a year. And but again, it's all smiles and a good day.
Longo, final thing, 54 games remaining as we start play today, 1/3 of the season. Do you feel like this team can really make a push that its best baseball is ahead of it?
That's the goal. I think with us, slowly getting back to full strength, hopefully have Luke back pretty soon, and then Neiman shortly after. But we've always been kind of a stretch run team, and so we'll kind of look for that magic and try to put one together.
Thanks, Longo. Nice to see you back. All right, guys. Evan Longoria said as nervous as he's been in a baseball game at the big league level. Back to you.
Well, that's understandable. 3 months off and right back into the lineup here tonight. Rays are winners 4-1. We'll be back in just a moment.